Okay, hi. Trying something new today. Dad here with Lunch with Dad. So glad you're here today. We got a big show for you today. Something special for you today. We'll get to that in just a minute. Hi, my name is Carl Trent. You might know me as Dad from Dad's Guide to WDW. And I love helping people with Walt Disney World vacations. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about going to Disney World. So much fun. First thing off, though, I want to thank our partners from Celebration Shirts, our sponsors from celebrationshirts.com. If you are going to Disney World and you want a matching T-shirt, they've got great designs for matching T-shirts. They'll even make personalized T-shirts for you. If you've got a T-shirt that you want laid out, they'll do that for you. They do a great job. They sent me some shirts this week. I'll probably be wearing one of them next week on Lunch with Dad. So, celebrationshirts.com. Give them a shout. Tell them Dad sent you. And also, they got a Facebook page. Pretty cool Facebook page. Stephanie, my assistant, will put the links down in the comments below. Say hello to celebrationshirts.com. All right, so let's get on with the show. By the way, this week we've got something really special. Really special. We got a gift for you. We got a prize for you. It's let me see. Oh, where did it go? Come on. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a tote bag and a keychain. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm back behind here. Guardians of the Galaxy tote bag and keychain. If you'd like one of those, and who wouldn't? We're going to have a little contest. We're going to pick a random winner. I'm going to turn that off so you can see my face again. Hi, it's me. I'm back. So we're going to pick a winner by somebody that likes, comments, or shares the page. We'll just pick one from random, and if you're the winner, we'll get you the shirts. This is our partners from Destinations to Travel are doing this for us today, so the prize will come from them. But just be sure to like, comment, or share, and you'll be entered. It's going to be pretty cool. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to give it away. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Guardians of the Galaxy. Everybody loves Guardians of the Galaxy, right? All right, enough of that. We'll get back to that in a little bit. And we'll give it away right at the end. So be sure to like, comment, or share. All right, so let's talk about the plan today. What's the plan? I got my notes today. Just like every week, we got the notes. The plan today, first off, like usual, I've got a little rant. I'm going to rant again this week. Just seems what I do all the time. Then we're going to talk about the news. There's really not any news this week. It's really been a quiet week. Then we'll do Dad's tip of the week. I got a pretty cool tip this week. We'll answer questions. By the way, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below, and I'll get to them here today in just a little bit. I've got, I think, 5 from our Ask Dad page, but if you have a question, put it down in the comments below, and I'll answer it here in just a little bit. And then I'll have some final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up, and we'll pick a winner. All right, here we go. The rant of the week. It was just kind of interesting, I thought. Big announcement this week from Disney. Big announcement. Brazil is coming to Epcot. What? That wasn't an announcement? It was a rumor? You got to be kidding me. You would have thought with all of the blog posts, you would have thought that Disney themselves announced that Brazil was coming to Epcot. They didn't. It's just another rumor. Now, next week is the D23 Expo out in Anaheim. This is where Disney makes a lot of announcements about upcoming things. That's kind of why there's no big, other than it being the 4th of July this week, that's why there weren't any big announcements this week, because Disney holds on to those announcements and makes them at the D23 Expo. So there weren't a lot of announcements this week. There will be a lot next week, starting next Friday. Next Friday is the D23 Expo, and that's when Disney will start rolling out all of the announcements. we've got people going to be there. Our partners at Destinations to Travel get down to Disney. We've even got a correspondent that's going to be there and doing some live Instagram for us while it's out there, and she might even do a couple of live streams on Facebook for us next weekend. So we'll have it covered. We'll get all the announcements, but Disney didn't announce anything about Epcot this week. Yes, it was rumors. When it comes to rumors in Disney, it's kind of funny. Even when Disney announces things, it doesn't always happen. Look at Disney Quest. Disney Quest closed this week. The announcement that Disney Quest was going to close was a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now. It doesn't always happen just when Disney announces it. Disney's announced a lot of things. I mean, Wreck-It Ralph. Where's Wreck-It Ralph? Wreck-It Ralph. Last year they announced Wreck-It Ralph was going to take over Stitch's Great Escape. Last I heard that Stitch was going to be open all summer. You just don't know anything. Brazil may come to Epcot. It may happen. Ratatouille or whatever. There may be a new ride in France. Who knows? Even when Disney announces things, they don't always happen. So don't worry about the rumors. Once construction is underway, once actually the thing opens, then it's time. You never know what is actually going to happen. Even the announcements of the original Fantasyland, when they redid Fantasyland, was totally different from what the final look was. So we'll just have to wait and see what's announced and how things come out. And no, I'm not going to talk about the gondolas again this week. All right, so let's go on. Enough of Dad's rant and talk about the news. That's what it says right there. The news. The news of the week. Like I said a minute ago, there wasn't much, but there was one big news item. One big news item. Did you all see the new look at Dad's Guide to WDW? We have a new look. It's all red, white, and blue. It's all pretty. Oh, I'm so excited. We've been working on this for a long time. We finally got it all ready to go. July 4th seemed like the perfect day to roll out the new look for Dad's Guide to WDW. You can see our new logo popping up, the castle thing, red, white, and blue. Everything's now red, white, and blue at Dad's Guide, and I couldn't be more thrilled about the new look. It's really clean. It just pops. It's really easy to navigate, easy to use, and we're just proud as we can be of the new look at Dad's Guide to WDW. That was pretty much all of the news. Yeah, there were a couple little news items popped up today. Captain's Grill at the Yacht Club is changing over to a gastropub called the Ale and Compass Restaurant, and the characters in flight, the name has been changed. A couple months ago, they took the characters off the balloon that goes up and down in Disney Springs, that really cool look that you get from like 200 feet all around Disney Springs, all around Walt Disney World. That balloon now is called the Aerophile balloon. Aerophile is the name of the company that runs the little thing. So no more characters in flight. And oh yeah, Disney Quest closed this week. A really, really slow news week. Next week might be slow too, because the D23 Expo doesn't start until Friday, so there won't be a lot of announcements out before next Friday. So, yes, I'm having problems getting my paper out. All right, so that's the news. All right, real quick, you probably got an email from me this week talking about making summer reservations. Our partners at Destinations to Travel got a call from Disney saying, "Hey, we want to run a promotion with you. 10 people can get a $100 gift card if they book a summer trip." I think it was June 15th to September 30th. If they book a summer trip between that day and Monday, the 10th, has to be a new reservation. Got to be traveling between June. It's July 15th and September 30th. And you got to book and pay now. So send out a note, an email on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. Send out an email that had a link in it. You can go to our Destinations to Travel page and just fill out the form at the bottom of the page. If you're interested, if you're going this summer, it's a really great deal. $100 gift certificate. It's $100 free, and that. Even if there's a discount, you can. Disney doesn't usually stack discounts like that, so you can get a discount and the $100 gift certificate, both. It's a pretty cool deal. So if you're planning to go anytime between now and the end of September, well, anytime at all, go over to our. But especially now to the end of September, go over to our Destinations to Travel page and go ahead and book your trip today. Get started today. Fill out that form at the bottom of the page. Somebody will get in touch with you, and you can get started today and get that trip booked by Monday and get a $100 gift card. Now, that's a pretty cool deal. All right. Enough of that. Now, let's talk about Dad's Tip of the Week. Here we go. I'm just going to play it for you. Hi, Dad here with Dad's Tip of the Week. This week I want to talk to you about my favorite place to watch the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom. In fact, I think I just want to show you. All right, here, watch this. Now, wasn't that just cool? I just love watching the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the beach at the Polynesian Resort. And the main reason is because, like you can see in that video from our buddy Brett Svensson, Disney photo snapper, you can see his Facebook page. We'll put the URL right down here. You can see all of the fireworks, especially the Halloween party fireworks, the Hallowishes fireworks, the Christmas party fireworks, the special fireworks, the 4th of July, the New Year's fireworks. All the special fireworks show need a very wide angle to see all of them. If you're in the park and you're looking down at Main Street, you're going to be looking to the left, to the right, and looking all around to see all the fireworks. But when you're back at the Polynesian, you get to see all of those fireworks right in front of you. It's just the best place to watch the fireworks at Walt Disney World. And that's Dad's Tip of the Week. Bye-bye. Choo! Now, isn't that just a great tip? I love watching the fireworks. I said that already in the video. I love watching the fireworks at from the Polynesian Beach. Some buddies of mine, we were working in Orlando. We went up there, we grabbed drinks. Actually, right now I grabbed a Dole Whip, went out to the beach, sat down in some easy chairs, and watched the fireworks in the Magic Kingdom. Great way to end the day. All right, so that's Dad's Tip of the Week. And I just kind of caught, somebody reminded me that also, I think it came out maybe today, that if you're a DVC member, there's a great deal on annual passes that came out today for DVC members. I haven't looked into it really well, but I kind of saw just a little bit of that. I mean, a really, really good deal. Like, you get Florida residence pass rates for DVC members. Really cool. All right, so here we go. Ask Dad questions. If you have a question, just please put it down in the comments below. We'll get to it in a little bit. We've got like 3 or 4. But go ahead and put your questions down in the comments below, and I'll get to them here in a few minutes. Don't forget, this week we have a special cool little giveaway from our partners at Destinations to Travel. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy tote bag and keychain, and if you like comment, share. We really appreciate it when you do that. If you like, comment, or share, you will be entered. We will pick a random person that liked, commented, or shared, and they're going to win. Cool. All right, so questions, Ask Dad questions. These came in on our Ask Dad page this week. We got some pretty good questions, and then we'll get to your questions. So don't forget, you can put your questions right down in the comments below, and we'll get to them in just a minute. All right, here we go. Do you have any recommendations for how far in advance to book a trip in a Disney World resort hotel? Well, I do, and I'll get to mine in just a minute, but I thought it would be appropriate to ask our partners at Destinations to Travel to answer. Yeah, it's really dry in Oklahoma, so I'm having to lick my fingers to get the pages apart today. Sorry, it's kind of rude, but it's life. Here we go. One of the agents from Destinations to Travel, I was bad and didn't write down her name this week. I just can't remember it. Sent me a note. Shannon, if you're listening, remind me who sent that. Stephanie, you can send me a note. Who sent this to me this week. Anyway, she says, I recommend anyone to book their Disney World trip at least 6 months in advance. By booking then, you will have a better chance at getting those hard-to-get dining reservations. Advanced dining reservations open up 180 days before you check in, and you can book the first 10 days of your trip. This is especially helpful for restaurants such as Be Our Guest, Cinderella's Royal Table, Ohana, and Chef Mickey's, if these are important to you. I will say, however, that there is no bad time to book. I agree with that. Some of my best trips have been spur of the moment, and I've just had just as much fun. There is so much to see and do at Walt Disney World that a last-minute trip might allow you to experience things you wouldn't be able to on that perfectly planned vacation. And I totally agree with that. It was book as well. Actually, I was writing the reservations chapter for Dad's for my book, Dad's Simple, Fun, Magic Guide to Walt Disney World Planning. I was writing the reservations chapter just this morning, and this actually came up just this morning as I was writing in the book. When do you make reservations, Disney hotel reservations? As soon as you can. When you decide, I'm going to Disney World, make your reservations. Make your reservations then. Don't wait. As soon as you know you're going, make your reservations. Don't wait for discounts to come out. A lot of people the last couple of years especially, have made reservations early in the year, and then when the discounts came out, they actually found that they weren't going to save. Some people with free dining were saving like $50 over what they had booked earlier in the year. And there were a few of them that didn't save anything, that actually it was going to cost more. So make your reservations just as soon as you can. Last minute, that's fine. But just as soon as you decide you're going to Disney World, that's when you make your reservations. That's just the way it is. That's Dad's bottom line. Make your reservations as soon as you can. All right. Next question. And this one is from Walter in Oregon. I think I forgot to say that the first question was from Kayla in Connecticut. This one is from Walter in Oregon. All right. Hi. Do you know when the 2018 military room discounts and tickets will be posted? Walter, that's a good question. First, thank you for your service. It's just great, especially this week. It's really appropriate, July 4th week, that we have this kind of question. It really does honor us that you served, and we thank you for that service. The Disney military salute and the Disney hotel discounts typically are released around September. Last year it was the end of September 28th, 29th, somewhere around there. So that's what I expect to happen again this year. I expect that the Disney military suit will be upgraded, redone, and that it'll be released the end of September. That's just the typical You never know with Disney; they don't always follow the patterns, but usually they do. So I really do expect it to happen at the end of September. All right, here we go. Next question. By the way, be sure to ask if you have any question. If you're just joining us, we've got a giveaway going on. Like, comment, and share to enter the giveaway. If you've got any questions about Walt Disney World, put them down in the comments, and we'll get to you in just about, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3 more. 2 more. Probably about 8 minutes. So we'll start answering questions here in a few minutes. All right, here we go. Next question from Pat in Fort River, New Jersey. Hi, Pat. Hi, Dad. 10 of us are going this December. 5 adults, 5 children ranging in age from 1 to 13. I have already bought Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tickets. What else is worth the extra money? It is a special celebration. My 70th birthday, my son's 10th wedding anniversary. They honeymooned at Walt Disney World. My other son got engaged at Narcosi, and it's first trip for 3 of the children. I want it to be very special. Well, Pat, congratulations on all the celebrations. That's really cool. Really cool to go to Walt Disney World and celebrate a lot of stuff. There is so much you can do at Walt Disney World when it comes to celebrations. Excuse me for just a minute. Got Mickey here. There's so much you can do at Walt Disney World for celebrations. I could go on for a long time about that. Number one, you can have a great trip without doing anything extra, without spending any extra money. Just going to Disney World is a celebration. You know, you have a couple of special meals, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to celebrate. That being said, there are some things that really kind of could be really, really special. The one thing that, you know, for me, what we enjoyed, we went as a family, all adults, finally the kids married. First time we took the in-law kids a couple of years ago, and one of the things we had the most fun at was the Hoop-de-Doo review. Yeehaw! Hoop, hoop-de-doo-doo. It was just a blast. It was a blast. It was probably the 4th best meal ever of the week. It was just a great evening. Good food. I love the food at the Hoop-de-Doo. And a good show. And it's just a fun time because you've got time in the show to talk with the family, get involved in the show. It's a good idea for a nice time as a family. Another thing you could do would be to go on one of the tours. Disney has a whole host of tours, all the parks, even one that goes to all the parks. It's a little long. It's 7 hours long, so probably with little kids, probably not a good idea. But you know, maybe a Keys to the Kingdom tour, maybe the train tour. The train tour might be a good idea. One thing, the last thing I'll suggest is a fireworks boat, nighttime fireworks. You know, go out and take a fireworks cruise. Don't know why that word wouldn't come to me. A fireworks cruise. Fireworks cruises are just, I've got to take one of these days. I haven't ever taken one, but I got to take one of these days. Go out on, they've got the Pirates and Pals one. They've got that one for the kids. You could go on that one with the kids. They also, you can actually rent a boat that will hold the whole family and just go out and sit. You can do this at Epcot or the Magic Kingdom and watch the fireworks together as a family. That I think I would have that as the last night. The last night, right before you leave, have that great little fireworks cruise. You can even get one, if you want to spend some money, you can even get one to serve you dinner on the cruise. So you can get all kinds of stuff. Just Disney has a couple of pages. I'm sure Stephanie will put the links down in the comments below where you can go and look at the tours and the cruises. But they're just all kinds. Just the bottom line is you're going to be at Disney World. It's a celebration. And you're going to have a great time. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, great thing. But yeah, there's all kinds of special things you can do at Walt Disney World. I hope that helps. All right, here we go. Next, Desiree in Grove Oak, Alabama says, what is the best day of the week, Monday through Sunday, to visit the Magic Kingdom when there's not a holiday or any other event going on? I'm making dining reservations in a few days. I try to correlate where my family eats with what park we're in. Thank you, Desiree. Hi, Desiree. Good question. There really is no best day. Any day is a good day to go to the Magic Kingdom, right? You're at the Magic Kingdom. It's a great day to be at the Magic Kingdom. However, some days are better than others. Now, for me to say that Tuesday is the best day to go to the Magic Kingdom, not so much. There's really not one day of the week all the time that's the best day to go. It varies, like you said, depending on events, depending on the crowds, depending on the weather, depending on extra magic hours. Everything kind of affects the crowd levels at the Magic Kingdom. A lot of people will tell you to go the day after extra magic hours. And for the most part, that's a good rule of thumb, but it's not a set in stone best day to go. What I do and what I would recommend is to go to touring plans. Touringplans.com. If you don't have a subscription, go to our touring plans page. We have a discount code that you can get a discount. Stephanie put the link down to our touring plans page. But go to touring plans and look at their crowd levels for each day of your trip and kind of plan your trip with. Now, I know they won't have the hours, but they have predicted hours. They do a great job. They're not always right, but none of us are always right about crowds. Things happen. But they do a great job of lining out which days are the best to be in each park. Yes, the Magic Kingdom is important, but know that when you go to make your ADRs, your dining reservations, that you want, if you've got something you really want, say those that we mentioned in the last question, Cinderella's Royal Table, Les Celliers, those hard to get reservations. If you want any of those, then those are the ones you should book first, and you move your trip around those. You plan your days around. Yeah, it would be best if you could get them exactly on the days you want, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to move things around. So yes, I would sketch out what I want using touring plans. And this is what I do. I sketch out the days the way I want them to be, and then we go make our ADRs. And if we have to change, we have to change. I know when we went with the family a couple of years ago, we just talked about when we went with the family, we wanted to eat at Les Celliers, and it wasn't available on the day we wanted to eat there. So we had to kind of move things around to get to eat at Les Celliers on the day we wanted to. So the bottom line is every day is a great day to go to the Magic Kingdom. There is no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't tell you which day is the best to go because it changes all the time. Use touring plans and you can pick what's best for your trip. I hope that helps. Again, bye-bye. I'm not going to say bye-bye yet. We're not done yet. All right, here we go. Next question. Don't know who this one was from. My wife and I, 3 adults, and my wife and I, 3 adults. That's what it says. I'm just reading what it says right there. And daughter's family, 2 adults, 6, 5, and an infant have reservations for the Art of Animation in Nemo Suites in March of 2018. I reserved 2 suites for our family. I have difficulty walking distances and will use a cane and or a cart at the parks. What would you recommend for the best convenient rooms at the Nemo Resort, at Nemo? I'd like suites near each other and an accessible tub. Do you recommend checking in early to get a better chance of suite selections? We've made our reservations through Matt Davis at Destinations Travel. He was great to work with. Well, first off, thanks for using Destinations Travel. Aren't they great? They just do such a great job. The Art of Animation is a really cool place to stay. Now, one of the things about the Nemo section is, number one, it is the closest to the main building at the Art of Animation. So right off the bat, you're about as close as you're going to get to the main building at the Art of Animation. That being said, if you can get a room that's closer to the front of the building, then you're not going to have to walk as far. Now, those are going to be preferred rooms. So you're going to have to pay a little bit to get the ones on the inside that are closer to the main building. The ones on the outside, the ones a little further back, they're not preferred. So you do have options if you didn't have a preferred room. As to being close together, if your reservations are tied together, Disney tries to keep families in the same general area. So as long as your reservations are tied together, that will happen pretty much automatically. Let's see, and the accessible tub. There are some accessible rooms at the Art of Animation. I don't know if you're talking about, when you say accessible tub, I assume you mean a roll-in shower. There aren't a lot of those in the Nemo section. There are some. Just add that to your reservation. Add that note to your reservation. Matt should be able to do that for you. Send Matt a message and tell him, number one, we need one room with an accessible shower, to be accessible. One room to be accessible. Disney is really good about helping people who have disabilities to get, they have rooms specially set up for that. They've got all kinds of things. They're really good about helping people with that. So have Matt tie that to your reservation. Have him make sure your reservations are tied together, and make those kind of requests with Matt. That's what he does. That's part of the service that he provides. And if he balks at it, you tell him that I said that's his job. So, just kidding, Matt. But that's really, Matt will help you with that. As to checking in early check-in, will that help? Not really. Disney assigns rooms a couple of days before you arrive. They're working 2 to 3 days before trying to get guests in the right room. So checking in early, checking in late, those rooms are pretty much assigned before you get there. And now with the check-in where you can check in online check-in, you really don't even now go to the front desk. It's not like you're going into some hotels like we've done for years and say, hey, I want a room. And they say, well, here's what we got available. And they show you a map and you pick one. That's not the way it works. It never has really been at Disney. But they assign the rooms in advance. You'll go to the desk. It can't hurt to get there early and to check in early, but it really won't make that big a difference. So I hope that helps. I know Matt's taking great care of you. They always do. So thanks for using Destinations to Travel. Great partner. I heartily recommend them. No problem. Saying they'll take care of you. All right. So here we go. Time for your questions. Again, we've got this giveaway. If you want to enter to get a tote bag, Guardians of the Galaxy tote bag, and a keychain. Just like, comment, share. We'll pick somebody randomly here in just a few minutes. Here we go. I'll show it to you again. Here it is. It's cool. It's not a great picture, but it'll do. It's what I got. Anyway, if you want to enter, just like, comment, and share, and you'll be entered. All right, here we go. Time for some questions. If you have a question, stick it down in the comments, and we'll get to them here in a minute. All right, here's the first one. Nancy says, is it worth it to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? Nancy, when it comes to both Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, is it worth it is kind of a hard question to answer. It kind of depends on what you're talking about. Now, if you're talking about, hey, I want to go for the experience, the Halloween party, the Christmas party, they're experiences. They are great experience. For the Christmas party, you have the snow on Main Street. You have the Christmas parade with Santa Claus and Mickey and all the characters, all dressed up for Christmas. You have cocoa and goodies, free goodies all around the parks. You have really not very long lines on the rides. It's an experience. It's just fun. There are special shows in the castle stage. There's a special one over in Tomorrowland. There's a special fireworks show. Hallowishes, or not Hallowishes for Christmas, holiday wishes. The same thing for the Halloween party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's a great experience. You've got trick-or-treating on Main Street. You can dress up in a costume. You can it's just cool. The Boo to You parade is spectacular. The fireworks show, the Hallowishes, now I can say Hallowishes. The Hallowishes fireworks show is, I think, the best music and show that Disney does. The best fireworks show at Disney World. But it's just a great experience. If you're going for the experience, then absolutely it's worth it. I know it's expensive. I put in the prices when I redid the pages, when they announced everything. I put the prices in. I was shocked. I mean, it's really expensive to go to the party. So if you're going for the experience, absolutely it's worth it. Now, if you're just going to ride the rides, then not so much. Yes, the lines are shorter, but really, do you want to pay $80, $90, $100 a person just to get shorter lines? And maybe you don't get all that shorter lines. Some parties you go and there's nobody on any of the rides. Some parties you go and everybody's riding the rides. So there's just no way to know for sure that you're going to get those really short lines like Walk on Buzz Lightyear 5 times in a row. Been there, done that. But that doesn't always happen at the parties. So if you're going for the experience, Dad's bottom line, the bottom line is if you're going for the experience, absolutely the parties are worth it. If you're going for the short lines, then maybe not so much. All right, Nancy, hope that helps. All right, here's the next question. Eric asks, when is the best time of the year to visit Walt Disney World? I'm more concerned about the weather. Crowds would be my second concern. Well, Eric, that's a good question. I talk about it a lot. I have a page that's built that's called, ironically, The Best Time to Visit Disney. Stephanie put the link down in the comments below. It's one of my most popular pages, one of our most visited pages. The best time to visit Disney World, okay, number one answer, anytime you can. As for crowds, September is usually the lowest time for crowds. But it's not, as you say, if you're trying to avoid hot, September's not the best time to go. If you're trying to avoid hot, early December, great time to visit. Second week of November, great time to visit. lower crowds, temperatures are great. Anytime there between after the end of October. We've been in October and it was hot. Of course, I've been in December and it's hot. You just never know with Orlando. Last year I was there the second week in December and it was 90 degrees. So it can be hot just about any time. December can be cold too. But I like November. I like early December. I like February. A couple of years ago, we went right after the first of the year in January. We went during the marathon, and that was a good time. So the first few weeks of the year, if you miss the holidays before spring break hits, because you say crowds come second, you still got to think about crowds. You don't, if you can get around it, spring break is not the time to be there. It's just too busy. It's just really busy. Spring break, May, mid-April, early May, another good time. So, but the best of those times, early December, late November, except for Thanksgiving week. Great time to go. Great time to go. All right. And check out our Dad's Best Time to Visit Disney page. Link will be in the comments. All right, here we go. Next question. Be our guest at 6:30 or Skipper's Canteen at 4:30 on Christmas party night. Help. Michelle, that's a toughie. It depends, like I said a few minutes ago, it kind of depends on why are you at the Christmas party. 4:30 kind of draws me because it's before it gets dark. That's, they won't have the snow on Main Street yet. Really, I don't think the Christmas party, the Halloween party, either one really starts until the sun goes down. That's when things really get special. When the lights come on, when the sun goes down. Yeah, you can go in at 4 o'clock and you can be there, from 4 to 6 before they run all the guests out. That to me doesn't really feel like party time. You won't have the extras that are for the party between 4 and 6. Officially, the party does not start until 6. So, I would be drawn to that 4:30 at Skipper Canteen just because that's before the party started. Now, with the party starting at 6, if you're going to do Be Our Guest at 6:30, you're going to be there till 8. You're going to miss a lot of party time. Now, depends on what you're there for. If you're there to enjoy Be Our Guest, you're paying a little extra money for that. So I would go with the 4:30 just because you don't miss the real party time. All right. So next question. Again, if you have a question, just put it down in the comments. We'll get to it here in just a minute. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We'll get to all of them. I promise I won't quit until I've answered all of them, but I will cut them off here in just a minute. All right, Michelle. Holly asks, do you think we'll see fall discounts in the next couple of weeks? There are a couple of current promos expiring within the next week. Holly, you never know with Disney when promotions are going to come out. Last year, the fall promotions, they came out in late August. That would be my guess again this year, that we're still about a month away from any more promotions, at least a month away from the fall promotions, from that October through December room discount, whatever it's going to be. But you never know. I can pretty much say it will not come out next week during the D23. Disney's pretty good about not stepping on big events like that. So it won't come out next week during the D23 Expo. And I would guess that August is probably a better time frame because that also kind of gets through the D23 hype. There's a lot of hype for a couple of weeks after D23. Again, late August, kids are starting back to school, so people are thinking about vacations. I would guess you'll probably see that late August time frame. Disney marketing's really good about knowing when to put discounts out, and they really don't change their pattern a lot. So sometimes they do. I could be wrong, and me saying this makes it a better chance of it coming out early than because I keep saying it's going to be late August. It probably won't be, because Disney likes to prove me wrong. Not just kidding. It just seems that way sometimes. But late August would be my guess. So I hope that helps. All right, here we go. Clyde asked, how is Via Napoli? Clyde, I love Via Napoli. We had a dinner there with our friends from Australia, and it was just cool. The salad was great, pizza was good. The zeppelis, the little bowl, the little dessert with the dipping in the chocolate, and I think I ate 100 of those. I just loved Via Napoli. Go back there in a heartbeat. So, boom, that's an easy one. Via Napoli gets Dad's thumbs up. All right. We are going on a Make-A-Wish Disney cruise in November. Congratulations. This is from Connie. Do you know of any good resources for the Disney Dream? This is one thing I've kind of fallen down on. We started a little Disney cruise line page section a few years ago, and it's been neglected because we just can't keep up with everything at Walt Disney World. One of these days, we'll get back to it. I love the Disney Dream. We went on a cruise on the Disney Dream a few years ago. Best, probably close to being the best cruise we've ever taken. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ship. It's a great size ship. Rooms are great. Touring Plans has a Disney cruise section now, and that's probably who I would recommend. I spend a lot of time dreaming. I mean, we took a Disney cruise earlier this year. There's really not a real good resource for Disney cruise information, but Touring Plans is pretty good. So that's kind of where I would start. All right, next question. Paul asks, what is your favorite building to stay in at the Pop? Okay, so 60s is the one just outside of the main building, the one with the green yo-yos. Pretty cool. I like being in that building because it's right outside of the main building. It's the easiest to walk to. That being said, our first time we stayed up in the 50s building, up in the bowling pin building. That was really, really nice too. It's not a hard walk to the main building from the bowling pins. You know, I've stayed in the 90s building, which is down on the other end, Plato, I think, and it's just not a bad place to stay at the Pop Century. It's just really well designed. But 60s building is our preferred. We usually get a preferred room, so we're usually in that 60s building. So that's where we usually stay. But been in the 50s, been in the 90s. Guess I've never stayed in the 80s or the 70s, but I like all of them. All right, I've got one more question here. If you've got a question, hurry and drop it in, because when I get done with this, we're going to cut it off. We're going to give the prize away and put an end to this. So if you've got a question, stick it in now. All right, Kristen asks, is the Magic Kingdom dessert party worth the money? This is one of those is it worth questions that kind of depends on you. If it's stretching your budget to do anything at Walt Disney World, if it stretches your budget, if you're having to, how am I going to pay for this? Well, then probably it's not worth it. You can watch the fireworks from anywhere. So if you're just going for the seat to watch the fireworks, do what I suggested earlier with Dad's tip of the week and go to the Polynesian and sit on the beach and watch the fireworks. Better view, and you can go over and you can get a Dole Whip and you can sit there in a lawn chair and watch the fireworks right from the beach. And you also have the electrical water pageant that comes by too at about the same time. So, is it worth it? Are the desserts worth the money? No, I don't know. I don't remember $39, $40. I think that's what I remember that it costs for a dessert. Is that worth it? I don't know. But it's the other thing is it's an experience. Is it worth it for the experience to go to eat the desserts? I've hosted a dessert party for a couple of years in a row over in Epcot during Christmas. And just having that atmosphere, having the desserts, having a place to sit and watch the fireworks, it's just a great experience. For the experience, like we talked about with the Christmas party, with the Halloween party. If you're going for the experience, then yeah, it's worth it. If you're just going to see the fireworks, then no, it's not worth it. All right, so, okay. So, one more question. All right, we're going to cut it off after this one. So, Miguel asks, we are out of the discounts for, when are the discounts for January out? Is it busy on marathon weekend? Miguel, discounts for January will probably come out in that August timeframe. Typically what they do is they do the fall, October, and they go into August. So if you're talking about marathon week, those discounts will include marathon week. That's typically what happens. Now, do we know for sure? No. My guess it would be August. It could be October. October, November is usually kind of when they roll out the the spring discounts. So it could be that long, but my guess is it will be August for those early 2018 discounts. Marathon week. We went a couple years ago. I tell you, it wasn't bad at all. You think we were actually there in Epcot where they run the marathon on marathon day. We were there on the day of the marathon in Epcot. Bad planning on Dad's part? Not really. We walked on every ride except for the people standing to watch the marathon runners. There just weren't a lot of people in Epcot. I think we waited 10 minutes to go on Soarin', 15 minutes for Test Track. There just wasn't anybody in Epcot. People weren't there for the attractions. They were there for the marathon. A couple of days it was kind of busy. Monday was kind of busy with the marathon people. Now that they'd run the marathon and all their families, they hit the parks. So Monday was kind of busy. Tuesday was kind of busy, and then the crowds kind of went away. So it can be a little busy during the marathon, but it's a good time to go. If you could put it back a couple days after the marathon and go, you'd be even better, but it's not a bad time at all to go. All right. I hope that helps. All right. Here we go. Tired. All right. Here we go. We got to pick a winner. We got to pick a winner of our giveaway, our, what do we call it? Our Guardians of the Galaxy tote bag and keychain, and it goes to Zach Newall. Zach, give us congratulations. Send us a little message here on the page. Just click the message button, send us a message, give us your address. We'll get that over to Destinations to Travel, and they'll send it to you. Congratulations and thanks. Thanks everybody for being here today. Remember, that $100 gift card. If you want to go to Disney World this summer, you can get a $100 gift card from our partners at Destinations to Travel and Disney. All you have to do is fill out the form at the bottom of the Destinations to Travel page. There's a link down in the comments. Let's see. Don't forget Celebration Shirts. Thanks to our partners, celebrationshirts.com. Hope you like the new look. Tell me down in the comments what you think about the new look of the Dad's Guide site. I think it's cool, but love to hear your feedback. Anyway, that's it for this week. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.